I want to remind everybody that two wrongs don't make a right. You don't do things just because somebody else does them to you. I also want to tell people that it's not okay to sit around and just talk about people behind their back. And when I post stuff on Facebook, it's not trying to offend or hurt anybody, but usually I do it because it's a situation that's involving me directly. I don't just go talk about people just because I see them do something on, and I don't have anything better to do than to report it to Facebook. Usually by the time I say something about somebody on Facebook, they have provoked me into saying what I say. And more than likely, I've been agitated and provoked into a situation to where I feel it's necessary for me to say something publicly because I don't want any confusion. So that we're all on the same page, because I don't talk about people behind their backs. If I have something to say about you, I'm going to say it where you can see it, and you've got vouchers to prove that I said it. Unlike some people who go around lying and gossiping about people and trying to hide it from them. See, today's the day of honesty in America. It's Honesty Day. And I want people to know that I'm an honest person. So when I say something about you on Facebook, it's not to offend you or hurt you. It's because you're doing something that I'm not okay with, and I need to let you know. And you're not somebody that I either generally communicate with, or the communication has broken down to the point where I feel I need to go on Facebook to make sure you hear I said it. Again, it's not to be mean or malicious or any of that. It's just that we've got people in this world who, they live by a double standard. They get mad when you tell the truth about them, and it'll be completely public. It'll be stuff everybody knows about. But then get mad when you, these are the same people, when you call them out because they're talking about you behind your back and they're lying on you. So I don't want anybody to think that anything that I've been told is, or something that I know for a fact, because usually if I say something about somebody like they're a pedophile, I'll give you a record in order to verify my facts. So we're all on the same page. But you can't always catch people that are lying on you, and you'll see them do it. But you can't catch people all the time that are talking about you behind your back. And the Bible says we're not supposed to associate with those people. If you know somebody that's sitting there gossiping about a neighbor or somebody that you know about, and you let them do it, then you're just as bad as the person that's talking about other people. Again, I don't want people to get a misunderstanding about me, so I'm not going to say anything behind your back. I'm going to say it to your face, or I'm going to say it where I know you can see it, so there's no misunderstanding. And it's not being mean or nasty. If you have a problem with me, instead of going from neighbor to neighbor and saying, hey, I don't like this person, they do this and they do that, blah, 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 blah. How about you go to a person and sit down and talk to them instead? Usually by the time I'm blabbing my mouth, I've said something to that person and let them know that I have a problem with them and they're refusing to resolve it. And usually it's something that affects me directly. Otherwise, I just don't. I'll say something about it, but it won't be, hey, this is so-and-so, like that, and point them out directly, unless it's somebody that I have a problem with or they're doing something that's inappropriate. Just so we're all on the same page, I don't just go around telling people's business. And so people get a misunderstanding when they see me say something on Facebook and don't understand that I don't, people come to me and confide in me every day, and I don't go around blabbing all their business. But sometimes you have to say something, because when you don't, that's what creates the animosity and the attitude between neighbors. And so if I would have just sat here and just said nothing, then the animosity might have built up and built up and built up. And then you've got people that hate each other secretly that don't really know it. And so I'm not that type of person. I say what needs to be said, get it off my chest, and I move forward. Once I've said it, I've said it. That's it. It's the end of it. And unfortunately, there's some people who lie. And so you've got people that don't tell the truth. And when did they get busted in it? Their first avenue is to go lie on people and think that that's okay to do. And so rather than do that, if I don't talk to you and I blab something, there's a reason why. And so maybe you need to do some self-reflecting and stop pointing the finger and failing to take responsibility for your actions. Because just because I blab something, if somebody fired you or went off on you for it and it was wrong, how about you come back and tell me rather than run around behind my back and being nasty? Because I can just as easily make a retraction and correct what was said. But when a person sits there and they run around to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor behind my back and don't say anything, or they lie from neighbor to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor, rather than come and sit down and speak to somebody, that's not how you resolve issues. That's called provoking people. And we're not trying to do that. We're trying to let people know the truth about what we see and hear. And we're trying to help each other to rise up and have better standards within the community. The only way you can do that is by telling the truth. And to expose the people that are causing the problems. And there's a lot of people out there that are so addicted to gossip. They're addicted to gossip like there's people addicted to heroin out there. And so I feel that because I don't want to gossip and I don't want to be having everybody say she said this and he said that to me about stuff, I just say it. And once I've said it, I've said it. And if it's wrong, come and sit down with me like an adult rather than going behind my back and going from neighbor to neighbor to neighbor, lying and gossiping on me. Because if I made a video and you are a topic in it, that's probably why I did it. Because you went around lying on me. We've got people that provoke stuff everywhere, and that's a large problem within our society. We have to figure out a way to call people out respectably without causing violence and anger. We've got a problem with people in our society with self-accountability. People refusing to take a responsibility for their actions. It's widespread and it's massive. And it's a large part of the reason that we have problems within our society today. Is because everybody runs around pointing the fingers at everybody, but nobody wants to take responsibility. That's part of the side effect from the feeling generation. Not everything is about feelings, though. Some people just don't understand that some things are simply about facts. And they need to just let it be. When I say something about somebody, it's because they've said or done something that's involving me directly. I have people that come to me as a chaplain that speak to me every day, and I don't go blabbing everybody's business. But when you hurt people, or when you're somebody who has a record for hurting people, it's my responsibility to let the community know that you're there. And being mad at me because you don't want to take responsibility for your criminalistic or bad behavior, that's not a problem about me. Don't be angry at me for it. Take responsibility for your actions. I do every day. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. What's wrong with being wrong is when you're wrong and you don't seek to fix what's wrong. So for those of you out there who have been offended by anything that I've said on Facebook, I apologize for that. And for those of you who have provoked me, well, now you have your voucher to prove that I said what I said. With God's love, God bless America. Have a blessed day. In fact, the badge.